Welcome, glad you could join me here at Platypus Scotsman. We're going to jump into another tree tutorial. This is kind of a spin-off of the last tree tutorial I did. Not the same, kind of looks the same, but not the same methodology as far as how I'm going to approach this one. Kind of spun off because of a comment that Mike Sanders made on one of the groups. He mentioned a Strangler fig tree. So I'd seen it before, but I didn't know what it was. So I kind of jumped into that a little bit more, and I started noticing some certain characteristics with how the roots went. I want to see if I could replicate it. I didn't really do it with the last tutorial I did for trees, but this one I kind of want to jump into a little bit deeper and look at how the roots were. So that was why I ventured into this. I was curious. I want to see if I could do it. But anyway, so the taco for this video goes to Mike Sanders for mentioning that and getting me on this path. And taco. Anyway, be careful with knives. I like to fill things, but anyway, let's get going. So with this tree, I'm going to use real branches. This is sagebrush, and I just went to the mountains and found some sagebrush. But there's other trees and other things you can probably find in like a craft store or like a Hobby Lobby or a Michael's or something to that effect. Maybe even roots. If I had roots, I would do that because roots are awesome to do this as well. But one thing that's unique about a sagebrush is if you find the right kind, in parts of the sagebrush, they'll have this cluster of small branches, and you can just clean those off, and it works really well for trees. That being said, I've already found some that I want to use. I've cleaned them up, trimmed some of the tops off up here, and sliced the bottom down here so I can marry them to this branch better. I don't want to go crazy with I don't want to go do a lot of with the hot glue. I just want to just attach it really well with the hot glue, and so I can use the DAS clay to sculpt it in. But I want to use real branches this time instead of the stuff I used last time on the last tree I did, the jungle tree. I want to evolve a little bit and branch out. Dad joke. Anyway, I'm gonna use some DAS air dry clay to form the trunk on this one. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold the top. I'm going to twist the bottom. Now what I want to do is I want to roll some pieces out that they're kind of like long roots. Okay, I'm just gonna add more and then I'll get back to you. So what I want to do now is I want to go through and fix some of these joins right here. So I'm just gonna put, well, try. Let's get it wet. Anyway, I want to have it smooth so it goes, so it looks natural. I don't want to have it butt up against. So I want to have a smooth joint here and try to wrap this around as smooth as possible. It's a little tight in there, so I think it looks fine as it is. I'm just kind of round the root under here a little bit. Just make sure your fingers are semi-wet when you do it. And let's try to get it as smooth as possible, but there you go. And then I'll go around and do the rest of the roots. Do this one, I'll do all those and I'll get back to you. All right, I have several layers now, and all I'm just doing now is little teeny pieces and just rolling them out. And then what I'll do is I'll just wet an area that I want to hook something up to. Let's say right here. I wet my finger. The sculpting's pretty much done. I hit the branches up top with the rattle can. I'm gonna go hit the bottom with the rattle can now too. And I also stuck some skulls from the GW skull box in there, just to add some character to it. Okay, I put some burnt umbar in this cup with some water. I'm gonna make a wash. I want it to be thicker than normal, but I still want it to be able to run. I'm gonna dry brush some mudstone on this now. I'm gonna go back with the shade, Agrax Earth Shade. Now what I do is stipple the rest of the colors I'm going to do, just kind of get to simulate texture, so I'm not just dry brushing. So I'm just going to stipple. I'm going to come back with the same color I did before, mudstone, and just go through and stipple everything. Mostly the high spots, but just to give it texture. Remove the paint as much as I can, like if I was dry brushing. But yeah, I'm just going to stipple now. I'm going to go through with khaki and stipple as well. I'm going to stipple some sandstone, and I want to go light on this. Don't want to be heavy-handed. I'm gonna go around with the Antonio Camel Shade and not do a wash, but just kind of paint in places just to kind of give it a hue of green. Now we're going to go around with some Drucci Violet, mostly in the shadows. For the foliage, I'm going to use the Knock Leaves. I think this is olive. Then I'm going to use foliage medium green. And the thing about this is it should have a mesh in it. So when I spread it out over the trees, there should be a mesh to it. And then I'm going to use tacky spray to adhere the Knock Leaves to the foliage from Woodland Scenics. And I'm going to lay down parchment paper and not spray it in the same place that I'm shaking leaves so the leaves don't stick to the parchment paper. This is kind of the idea, but it's very difficult to do this part on camera, so I'm gonna have to lift it up and then I'll show you the after. Sorry. They just kind of just tear it apart, move it around until it sticks on stuff, and do that, and just kind of weave it through the piece you're doing. Okay, I just sprayed this. Now I'm gonna sprinkle some of this on there. This is all the loose stuff that fell off. Kind of lightly tap it. All right, now we're gonna do the Knock Leaves. So I've made a concoction of Mod Podge, half Mod Podge, half water, and some burnt umbar. And this is burlap strips that you wrap around trees. And I'm just gonna make some vines and hang from this. So I'm going to do that all over the tree and then I'll get back to you. Well, that's a wrap on the Strangler tree tutorial. That's a wrap on the Strangler tree tutorial. Glad you could make it, and hopefully you got something out of it. And man, I can't talk. That's a wrap on the Strangler fig tutorial. Hope you got something out of it. Hope there was something you could use in your hobby, or at least if nothing else, it was enjoyable to watch. But between the two, between the previous tree tutorial and this one, there's some differences. One's material, but as far as time consuming, they're both kind of time consuming, but there's some differences. They were both really fun to do, and I want to do more with them. Also too, I didn't mention in the video some of the foliage in here. It's just essentially the knock leaves and some of the material. I just picked it up, glued it, put some glue in there, sprinkled it back on. I forgot to mention that. So that's what that is. You see some of the close-up pictures. And speaking of pictures, you can see these on Instagram in our portfolio. It's on Platypus Scotsman, and you can also see some on Facebook page, Platypus Scotsman 2, if you want to follow us there. And then we have Platypus Scotsman Lounge. If you have any questions, comments, please leave them below. And if you find anything that's useful, or you enjoy the channel and want to support us, share it. Share the videos, spread the word. I try to get the word out there. It's just slow growing, obviously, because we're small at this point, but just help us grow and get the word out there. And if you like this, if you enjoy it, just click the like button. We're grateful for the people that do sub to us right now, and for the support in the comments. It means a lot. Anyway, hopefully you have a good night. Hopefully this was useful, hopefully, or good day, depending on what time you're watching this. And hopefully there's something here that you can apply in your hobby and get more enjoyment out of your hobby as far as what you do. Take it easy, chillax, enjoy yourself, have a good night, and we'll see you next time. Ciao. Oh, I forgot to mention that the most important thing is, remember what my mother used to always say, that anybody can do art, and I truly believe that. Ciao. Oh, ciao.